My name is Connie Johnson, and I am a certified professional life coach. I am not qualified to, nor do I offer therapy or counseling services. You can find out more about me and my services on my website. It is linked on my YouTube channel homepage, or you can go to www.familyforwardlifecoaching.com. Any information on the Family Forward Life Coaching YouTube channel is intended for general guidance only and must never be considered a substitute for legal advice. It is not legal advice. I do not have a law degree. If you can afford a lawyer, that is always your best option. So if you could just pause the video now with your mouse and then read the rest of this disclaimer, that would be appreciated. And once you want to continue watching the video after you've read the disclaimer, you can use the space bar to start and stop the video. And if you want to move ahead at any point in the video, the right arrow key moves you ahead and the left arrow key will move you backwards. First things first. The slide on the right is a screenshot of a great place to start educating yourself on what your first step should be. The red arrow points to a squished picture of a free PDF book written by a lawyer, John Paul Boyd. It is a pot of gold. You can find it on the website www.wiki.clicklawbc.ca. You can also Google Clicklaw Wikibooks if the link breaks. You have many decisions to make prior to deciding whether you want to use the court system. Even if you don't use the court system, all other options follow the same legislation. The legislation is the laws. Mr. Boyd's book will guide you through each step and will be your Bible throughout the process. Even if you use a lawyer, this book will help you better instruct your lawyer. Another great resource for BC residents is the Justice Education Society's website on how to separate. This is linked in the video description. It is a course, and I recommend it for everyone as it will help you understand what you are in for. There is a lot of information. If you work on one issue at a time, starting with educating yourself on the system, you will be able to make the best decisions for your family no matter what route you decide to take. The other courses that are super helpful are the Parenting After Separation course and the Finance course. There is a guide for the Parenting After Separation course, and it has great worksheets in it as well to help you through some conflict if you're involved in any with your former partner. You can find out more about these courses in my resource video. There should be a card on the top right that will take you to that video. What I recommend that you do is listen to the whole of this video, and then if you want to come back to the video and use the card links to find those videos, you can. Or if you know how to manage your way through YouTube, I have all my videos on my YouTube channel and there are playlists. Another great site is mylawbc.com. That will be linked in the video description as well. Another great resource for BC residents is the Family Law in BC website, and you'll see a screenshot of that on the right here. If you look at the red arrow, it will take you to the section that educates you on the BC legal system. If your questions are not answered in one resource, move to another until you find the answer you need. Save websites as bookmarks. Control D on your PC will save a bookmark, and Command D on Apple computers will save a bookmark. So you use the Control and D keys together and the Command and D keys together to make bookmarks. And you can also rename the sites and make folders as well. Once you've read through all of the out-of-court options and you've determined that they will not work for your family's issues, you will need to start preparing the first document to start a court action. Mr. Boyd's book has a section starting a court proceeding. Before you read this section, you will need to have read the previous sections to determine the court level and legislation, the laws that your family's issues will follow. Great resources for court documents. Both the Provincial Court of BC and the Supreme Court of BC have links to Picklists, which have the standard wording for family court orders. These documents will prove to be very useful for you if you are self-representing. All the books and sites mentioned in this video are linked in this video's description. If you're using the Provincial Court, go to the Picklist, and if using the Supreme Court, go to the Supreme Court's Picklist. Both courts will be linked, and I will also link you to the Picklist pages for each court. Using these lists to make a list of issues for your family is something I recommend. I have a video on making a list of issues that will help you. There should be a card on the top right corner right now to take you to that video. When you print off information from resources, ensure that you make a note of where you got it from, the resource, website name, or book guide name. This will prove helpful if you meet with a lawyer and you need to determine where you got your information from. Court forms including examples. The screenshot on the right is a snippet from the site I showed you a few moments ago. It's from Clicklaw Wikibooks. If you scroll down on their homepage, this is linked in the video description. Near the bottom, you will see court forms and documents. So near the bottom on their homepage, once you click in, you can scroll down and you'll see court forms and documents. These example forms for both provincial and Supreme Courts, together with the pick list that we spoke of on the previous slide, will help you immensely. Let's go look at the sample document of the Notice of Family Claim for the Supreme Court of British Columbia. So here we are at the Clicklaw Wikibooks website, and you'll see here on the right, you can right click with your mouse and say open in new tab, and you will get a copy of Mr. Boyd's book, and it is 808 pages long. If you want to find terms, if you use your Control F key, you will get a little box up in the corner here, and you can search any term. And using the index in this guide is actually really useful. You can educate yourself, of course, on each topic after you learn about the legal system, avoiding court, going to court, family law agreements. Then you can start educating yourself on the laws as it relates to children, child support, spousal support, property and debt, and then family relationships, separation and divorce. And there's just so much here. There's also a how do I section, which is amazing. So this book really is super helpful. So we're going to go over back to here, and I just want to show you when you scroll down, you will come to the court forms and documents. And if you are using the Supreme Court, you can right click and say open in new window, or you can go to the Provincial Court forms and examples, and then there's also other family forms and documents that you can look at as well. But we're just for this video, I'm going to touch on going into the Supreme Court family forms, which I have already opened up on my computer. So the Supreme Court family forms are here, and if you look, you'll see that there's a blank PDF, a blank Word document for some of them, a blank HTML, completed example, and other resources. The completed examples are amazing. What I recommend that you do is scroll down to the Notice of Family Claim, and there is a completed form here in PDF, which you can right click, and there's also a PDF annotated. Now, the completed one is great. I would open both of them and print them off, and I'm just going to go into the annotated one for you, because what I find, which is super helpful for everyone, is these little notes that are here explaining each thing. And you can just click on them and it will show what the note is. And if you want to, you can always highlight those and print them if you like as well. Or you can do a screenshot so that you know in future where you got the information from. Now, this form has schedules, and the first schedule is about divorce. And you need to fill in all of the forms, and like I say, you've got notes for each one, and you can also follow the completed example that they have for this document. And if you scroll down here, I want to go to the second form, which is for children, and down here it says current parenting arrangements. If you click on that, it says here you should be describing as simply as possible how you and the other side are looking after the children now that you've separated. It can be really tempting to get down into the muck and dish some dirt, but avoid the temptation. If you say something mean and spiteful, even if it's true, You risk annoying the other side and making your conflict worse than it really already is. So, great words of advice. And I wanted to tell you that for parenting, if you haven't already done so, the federal government has a great tool, a parenting plan tool, and that can help you and your former partner make plans for the future so that you don't have conflicts in the future. So I suggest that you use that guide as well. Okay? So then I just want to go, while we're here, we might as well look at the other schedules. Spousal support is the Schedule 3, and that deals with spousal support. And like I said when we were in Mr. Boyd's book a few seconds ago, you can educate yourself all on spousal support, and that will help you complete this form. And then property is Schedule 4. And then for other orders, those relate to any other orders that you're asking for that don't fall under the other schedule names. And that'll make more sense once you educate yourself. So I hope that this helps you. And this tool is invaluable, I think, and will really aid you in filing good documents that won't get rejected, basically. Okay? If you use a sample form to prepare a document, ensure that you print off a copy of the sample form and make notes on where you researched and obtained information for each section. Being organized will save you a lot of time, stress, and money if you hire a lawyer on an unbundled basis. Watch my video on my YouTube channel called Using Guides and Resources to Make a Divorce List of Issues. If you are filled with emotions that you are finding hard to control, contact your counselor or therapist and arrange for some sessions. Online sessions may be available. If you are in the right frame of mind, start educating yourself on the legislation, rules of court, and court procedures that are relevant to your family's issues. Save all websites as bookmarks. If you are on a computer that is shared with others and cannot save bookmarks of the sites you use, come back to my videos, as I have shared links in the video description. If the links break, then Google the name of the resource. Leave me a comment as well, because if the link breaks, then I could go in and relink it. Always ensure that you are using up-to-date resources. Sometimes they change, and older versions, PDFs, are still afloat. The best thing to do is to get a resource from the site that created it. Sometimes other sites like me will give you links to resources, and when newer versions come up, that link is broken. So that's why you always want to ensure that you get the most up-to-date current version of any resource. Go to the National Self-Represented Litigants Project website, and under the SRL Resources tab, find and read the guides titled Mindfulness Training, CanLII Primer, Reading a Case Primer, and What You Need to Know About Affidavits. All the guides on this site are fantastic tools that will aid you in proceeding through your family law issues as a self-represented litigant. Before you prepare any documents, read the linked Canadian case regarding hearsay, opinion, and argument not acceptable as evidence. That case is called A.J.F versus N.L.S. And that's linked below in the video description for you. If you have a friend or family member who you know advocates for conflict-free resolutions, ask them to read through your emails to your former partner prior to sending them. And also ask if they are willing to proofread your documents for you to ensure that they are not filled with hearsay, opinion, and argument. If using a lawyer, this could save you a lot of money. If you think your former partner is abusive, there is a video card on the top right of the screen right now that will lead you to resources that will help you determine if your partner is abusive, and will lead you to resources and entities that can help you. If you are interested in using a life coach, check out my website at www.familyforwardlifecoaching.com, where you will find more information about me and my services. If you look to the bottom right now, you'll see an icon that is a gray icon. If you click on that icon, you will be given an option to subscribe to my YouTube channel, and there will also be an icon of a bell. And if you hit that bell, you'll be notified anytime I upload videos. So I hope that this has helped you, and have a great day.